And we are live on the air. Good
Yes.
day, Miss Julie.
Good day, Miss Tina. How are
How are
you
you?
doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah, we're here. We're
We're
here.
here.
We got
We
oh, we
for
got somebody in.
Oh, good. And we
Yeah.
forgot to do our little meditation prayer before the show. So let's just ask to be
Okay. Yeah,
protected
well,
and
I guess
yeah.
there's a reason. I guess so you
Yeah.
want me to do it? Because usually
Yeah.
I'm yeah.
You do that. You do it every week,
Okay.
so you're good at it. Let's
Yeah.
let's have everyone join, right? What a
Okay.
better way to start.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Eleanor, she wrote down lazies.
That's very fitting. Hello,
Okay.
lazies.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we understand what you mean. It's funny. We need
Yes,
we
that's
need to
hilarious.
laugh. We need to
Yes,
laugh.
we do.
Okay, so yeah, so let's do this meditation. So usually before we start the show, Julie and I, we call in divine protection and guidance. So because we like we
Because we're
didn't do it
lazy.
because we're lazy and we can be loopy. Let's all do this together. So
Yes.
I don't follow a script. I just, go by what feels good. And so everyone, if you would like to take a deep breath, if you want to do this, you're welcome to take a deep breath in and let it all out. And take a deep breath in to relax and let it all out. And one more for good prosperity. Deep breath
Yes.
in and let it out. So we're nice and relaxed. So calling in the name of divine light and love, divine guidance. So that includes the council, Zena, Flora, Aria, Nick, and all archangel beings and guides to surround all of us in your presence of divine light and love, ease and grace. May we receive divine guidance, protection, connection, and support from your realms, that we feel the pink light and love emanating from you all to us, through us, for us, around us. And that what we share is for the highest good of all, in body, mind, and spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I feel
There we
much
go.
better.
Yeah. Is everyone calm? Everyone ready for a
Shining the
nap?
light. Yes. Yeah, who's ready? I am.
Yeah, that's it, you guys. Goodbye. Go have a nap.
And that's our show. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Hello to Arlene. And there's Karen. I missed you last week, Karen. Thank you so much for always showing up here. I really appreciate it for Karen Kinney. And
Yeah.
there's Mom and
Yes.
Jessica and Wendy. Oh, Wendy from Australia. Hello down
Welcome.
under.
Yeah, it's summer there, so nice and warm.
It's like
Yeah.
Phoenix. Yeah, we're getting
hmm
warmer again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so today's show is going to be, even though it's like the 10th day of January, we're going to be sharing about the year ahead, 2022, themes and visions. And um, this is going to include like the numerology. The spirit animal came through for the year loud and clear. I think
Yes.
everyone's going to love it.
Yeah.
The spirit animal, yeah.
I
I
don't
think
even know what it is. Do I?
no, I
I don't
thought you
think
didn't
so.
see it. I thought you saw it.
Oh, did
Okay.
you put it in that little
Yeah, I
note?
did.
Oh,
You,
I then I
that's
saw it. I
okay
just
too.
it's
Yeah,
I'm blank. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm ready to
And
reel like
And then
Ellen.
I received 3 tarot cards, but Julie also did a tarot card pull. So Julie's going to share like her tarot card version, which is wonderful. So we'll talk about that. And I just want to say, like, everything that we share is for our highest good. So it may not be pleasant, every message, but that's life, because life isn't always about butterflies and roses, because we're here to also grow and learn and appreciate. And sometimes, a lot of times that happens through going through challenges and difficulties and hardships.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so so this all comes from love and light. We hope it'll bring some comfort and just an awareness is, the basic thing, right? Because honestly, we don't know how much of this will come to be,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
And what else did I wanted to say with all this? Yeah. Oh, so if anybody who's watching, if you wanted to add a comment, an insight, if you have a question about it, please post it in the chat room, because we appreciate everything that is shared. If you would just rather watch and listen, that's fine too. We appreciate that as well. And please note, this is not about personal readings. This is sharing message for all, for the whole collective. So with that, we'll begin. Where should we
Yes.
begin?
Let's begin with the number of the year
Okay.
and the cycle that means, right? Because that's
Yeah.
kind of the basis of it all, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's a number 6 year. And the big, like, there's many themes and there's many words associated with that. And my intention is to write a forecast on it. It'll be quite long and intense, but I plan to get that done this week
Yes.
and post it this week. So the main word is well-being, and which is great because that can mean lots of things. It'll affect all of us differently, but well-being is, of course, we think of our health. And even though health issues have been part of our news and our life these last few years, this is really in focus well-being, because I think a lot of people are going to be sitting and it's like, okay, what are the healthy alternatives, or how can I be, better with my health and well-being? And well-being is not always like our physical health, but also can be your spiritual, mental, emotional health. Also, it can be the health of your finances, the health of your relationships, your career life. Like, it can be anything, and for everyone, it'll be like different. So, like, I want to say, depending on your own cycle, it could be like, okay, my well-being right now seems to be about my partnerships or my relationships, because I want, maybe you don't have some good relationships and you want to heal that or let it go, right?
Yes.
It could be about maybe working on healthier relationships and partnerships. That's just an example. So well-being, right? I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I think well-being, I think as a collective, we are really going to be focusing on mental health a lot more. I see that in the cards that I was pulling too. We've been kind of a self-centered society the last couple of years with the pandemic and our own well-being, our own personal well-being, rather than the well-being of others around us, which is natural and normal to pull into yourself and to look at yourself first when you're in the situation. It's like being on the airplane and you got to put on your mask first to help others, right? So I think this is a year where we are starting to look outside ourselves a little bit more, and to comfort and to nurture those that are around us a little bit more, opening up our hearts a little bit more this year. And that well-being, when you get mentally sound, it flows through physically too as well. So
yeah. And I think this is, I mean, it's going to be a profound year.
it is, no
Like,
doubt.
really, really intense year. So, sometimes I want almost to say, hang on to your seats or fasten your
Hold
seatbelt.
on to your hats. Yeah.
That's
We're
the
in for a
expression.
bumpy
Yeah.
ride. Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts. And the reason why I say that is because when I look at numerology, I look at all the numbers too, right? So 2022, there's 3 twos. And in numerology, my experience and, with doing numerology for so long is like, the more and the same number repeats, the more intense and profound the energy is, because it's like this stacking. So it's almost like you keep getting hit with that same energy over and over again. So there's this really huge intensity. It can be very, very deep and profound. So not everyone's going to like it.
Right.
And I want to say, like, it's like it's got a master energy because of all the twos.
Yeah.
And you've got a master number in your date of birth. I've got master numbers in my date of birth. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a time where master numbers are being called to step up
Yes.
to the plate. Like they're going to be needed. They're going to be now the leaders because they've been in the background. They've been getting their experiences. They've been going through their stuff. Like they've been going through stuff ahead of the crowd. So now it's like, okay, it's almost like everyone calm down. We got this. This is what, okay. And hopefully it'll be like towards and creating, you know, programs and a future that is so much better than what we've been getting and what we've been living. I mean,
Yeah.
time will tell, right?
Yes.
So, but I
Time will
do
tell.
feel like,
Yes.
because, this is a decade, I want to say the whole decade, because a lot of the numbers repeat more than once, like 2020, there was two twos, two zeros. Last year was two twos. This year there's three twos, like the two. So it's like master souls are being called like, okay, it's time to, time to do your work,
Yeah.
time to be there now, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
I want to say, like, when with well-being, it's like, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about like, how is this serving us well? How, is this, going to be working? Is this, for our own good?
Yeah.
And this is where, um, yeah, this is
Yeah.
where, this comes to intention this year, especially,
Yeah.
you know, for
Right.
well-being. Yeah,
You didn't get this far just to get this far.
yeah,
Everything was for a reason. And
yeah,
everything you've experienced up until this very moment
yeah,
was guided for you to, now's the moment. Now's the moment to
yeah,
step up, really
yeah,
step up and own who you are in this world. Own
yeah, exactly.
your right.
Yeah,
Own your
yeah.
strengths and your weaknesses.
That's
It's just
right.
time to own
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And I think that's what master souls are going to be showing. It's like, you know what? It's not because they have all the answers, but it's
No.
like I want to say they have the heart and the soul, and there's this wisdom that they've gained. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's time to show that because it's not something that was learned in the classroom.
Yeah.
And they're going to be coming from a level that of mastery, like they've mastered something, and that's what's going to be needed and shown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Joanna's pointing out. Hello, Joanna. Thanks for coming again.
yeah,
It's 11122 today.
yeah, yeah. I know, isn't that, I know, I
That's
looked at that
crazy.
too when we were talking, and I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, it is
that's
amazing.
wonderful.
Yeah, so it's no coincidence.
And can you explain how to get your number again? Because Eleanor is asking how you
So
get that.
yeah, so master numbers are, I focus on the date of birth. So there's three master numbers: 11, 22, 33. So if you're born on the 11th, so a day that's the 11th of the month, or a day that's on the 22nd, that gives you a master energy. Of course, the 11th month, right?
Right.
Because that's November, that gives you a master energy.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing too is 30. So, and then if your date of birth adds up to a master number. So, if let's say today it's what, January 10th.
It's the 10th.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think the reason
That's
why
okay.
Joanna said that, she's in the Philippines, so they're the
Oh,
next day.
so she's
Yeah, because
right.
of the time difference. So she's
That's
right. We're
right.
both right. See?
We're all
See, there
right.
we go. See,
That's right.
there, that confirms like there's no right or wrong. It's like it
Right?
all counts. Yeah.
I love
So the
that.
other thing is, like, if you write down your date of birth and you go, okay, let's say I'm going to use today's date, January 10th, 2022. So you put January is the first month. So you put 1 and then 10, 2022, the whole numbers, and you put a plus sign in between every digit and add it across. And if that adds up to a master number, 11, 22, 33, then that's how you get it as well. The other thing is sometimes the year.
Yeah.
will
Like
add
me.
up to a master. Yeah. So do you want me to
Yeah.
say what year you are?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So 1966. So I put a plus sign between the 1, 9, 6, and 6 and added a cross. So 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 1966 adds up to a 22. That's a master. So Julie, that's where Julie's master energy comes in. So I hope that makes sense,
Yeah.
Eleanor.
And overall,
And
I'm a one. I go
yeah,
by my life
yeah,
number, my life path number, but the 22
yeah,
applies a lot of times to me. So
yeah, yeah,
kind of can go
yeah,
by both. Yeah. Yeah. So it's
yeah,
pretty simple, but I get confused with it too. But it's so
yeah,
important to know what number you're entering into too for the year.
yeah.
Like 22 for me is a number 3. And so that's about connections and friendships and celebrations and
Having fun and going with the
having fun.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay.
I know. Finally, eh?
Finally.
Finally, you can party.
That's right. That's right. Finally. It's been a long time.
Julie will live it up this year.
I'm ready. That's right. I'm already drinking. No. No, but I'm
Yeah,
ready to. I am ready to
yeah.
have some fun and have no worries. Who
To
isn't,
laugh.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and laugh. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
be goofy. Yeah. And your mom says, "Fun? What's that?"
Right. She's with
Julie
me.
will show you.
When I learn it.
Starting in March, Julie will show up and show you what fun is.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when,
Okay.
yeah, we get a miracle. That's what's fun for me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. So that's that part. I mean, I kind of skipped ahead. So yeah. So the twos, will really, really influence the six energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. So Vanessa just asked because she's born in 1975. It's a 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
You added it right. Yeah.
So
So
you're like
Vanessa,
me.
you have a master. So like a soul energy, like the 22. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and then there's theme words that came through. So
Yes.
home. So I'd really feel like, so home in the literal sense, like people, I feel like they will be like, okay, is this where I want to live? Is this the home of my dreams? Do I
Yeah.
want to stay here? So they'll be thinking about home. Also, too, it could be like what hits home, and as a metaphor, like you might hear or have experiences that hit home for you, right?
Hmm.
That and I feel like there's there will be some of us who, like, when it comes to home, it'll be like, what, I don't want, they'll make a big move, like it's like wherever you've been living, it's like, I don't want to live in this city, state, province, country. They might move somewhere completely different, like make a big move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
Big changes, big transformational
Yeah.
changes
Yeah.
and elevations.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like, some people too, their definition of how they live, at home will change too, because it could be like, what? Uh, they might not want to pay a mortgage, or they may not want to pay rent. It's like, what? Home will be in a van, or home will be, I don't know, maybe I'm going to room with people, or maybe I'm
Yeah.
going to travel, and my backpack will be my home. Like, I mean, I don't know what's going to be possible. I know we're restricted again, but I feel like home, and even thinking of our home, maybe that we grew up in, will come up
Yeah.
for some of us, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That ties all into the lover's card, the number 6
Mm,
card. The lover's card is about choice. It symbolizes what are you willing to sacrifice
mm.
in choice. And so, that is, I see that Karen is moving home to Connecticut this year. So she's willing to
Wow.
sacrifice some of her familiar ways to go for something. There's a sacrifice in there. So I think that's what this year is going to really, you're going to find yourself doing that more and more. You're going to
Yeah.
find yourself having this choice of love or fear, is probably going to be the
Yeah.
biggest choice, I think, coming
Yeah.
up for
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
My mom had this wonderful, she read it in a book, and it said, we all have two wolves inside of us, fear and love, and whichever one you feed the most will grow.
Yeah.
And I loved that because it's so true. You know, we
It
all have
is.
that choice to choose love or fear. And that's really what the lovers represent in the tarot. So I do love that that card came up for you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. And it could be, and I think, community comes up as well. And that could be connected to community. It could be like, well, my home will be connected to where I feel a sense of community, or where I feel comforted. I feel like I'm part. And it's more than a tribe. It's about like feeling like you're part of a family, part of something that, maybe you feel like, something's been missing. I don't feel at home here anymore.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like home, right? So that could be a big, so community comes up.
Yes.
Joanna asked an interesting question.
Joanna says, may I ask if you've got vaccinated? Yes. And my mother answered for me. Yes. I even got the booster last December, so a couple of weeks ago. So yes, I have been vaccinated. Yes.
And I have not.
I love that though. I love that
We're completely opposites.
Completely opposites on this.
Yeah.
And we respect totally 100% each other's decision on that. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I have not been, and I'm very hesitant. I'm gonna, explain that. And it's not because I feel like I've got crazy ideas, but it's just, for me, I'm following my own intuition with it, and time will tell.
That's right. You got to go with your gut on that, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I know I'm restricted because of that. And so, but we'll see. Like, I mean, because I love to travel and I want to travel, and it's like, I don't know, so time will tell. Yeah.
There's the beauty of the lovers and the choice card, though. It's all divinely guided. We all have this angel Raphael. It's Archangel Raphael watching over the lovers, guiding the lovers. But there's sacrifice in here. There's clouds in here. There's decisions to be made when it comes to yourself. And I think that's what 22 is going to really be about, those personal choices and not having to defend them so much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't feel bad about admitting it, because I mean, I want to say, for me, when I share that, it's like, okay, I feel very calm about sharing it. I'm not, and it's like, if you have to, you do. I'm not going to hold that against you, right? Because, like, some of them are commenting. So there's a bunch of, that are commenting like yes or no, and it's because of this. And it's such a volatile subject still.
It shouldn't
and
be.
That's very upsetting. Yeah, and it's very upsetting. Yeah. And what was I going to say? I just feel like, I think for me, what's upsetting about it is it should be about freedom of choice.
Yeah.
And, so that's where I want to go with that. So if it's like, but some people feel like they don't have, like, some people don't have that choice because you have to work, and if you want to work, you got to get it.
Yeah.
So, really.
Which is a choice.
Yeah. And it's
you
hard.
always have a choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I find it, for me, it's hard at times, sticking with my choice of like not getting vaccinated, because it's getting mean out there. People have some mean things to say about the unvaccinated, and it's brutal. I feel it's uncalled for. That's not it's not it's uncalled for. That's how I want to put it, right?
Yeah.
So,
even personally, in my family, we got vaccinated because my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he can't even catch a cold, let alone COVID. It would literally kill him.
Yeah.
But there are members of my family who still have not gotten vaccinated because of their own personal reasons, and so it's coming down into the family unit, these discussions, these and all it is arguing back and forth. You're still going to do what you need to do, Joanna. Don't let, I know. and the outside rhetoric just shouldn't play a part in your decision. It just
That's right.
shouldn't. I've been
Yeah.
vaccinated. I'm healthy. I have no side effects from the vaccine whatsoever. But I'm very unique. I'm not going to say you're not going to have a side effect from the vaccine because you're you. You know what I mean? I have
Yeah.
no right to put that on you. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish it would come down to discussions about it rather than arguments about it.
Yeah.
And I don't like the mandates. I am way against that. I don't want to force anybody to get
Yeah. Yeah.
the
There you
vaccines.
go. Yeah. And I feel there's a lot of people who have been vaccinated that feel the same way like you do. Not everyone,
It's not
right?
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like my view on being unvaccinated is not shared by everyone either.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hold, your own. So Joanna, like I feel for you, like same thing with me. Like it's getting harder and harder for me to go out and about and,
Yeah.
without the card. And I don't approve of a vaccination card either. I
Yeah.
don't. I feel it's wrong. Um, and I just don't know. I mean, it's such a volatile,
Yeah.
and it's something where it's like, who do you believe, and
Yeah.
what's what.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's very polarizing.
And once again, it comes down to the lovers, really,
Yeah.
because the lovers represent the development of your own personal belief system, regardless
Yeah.
of societal norms.
Yeah.
And so that's very telling. We're going to come into this own personal belief system without having to defend why we're here. I
Hmm.
feel like 22 is going to really open up to that and
Yeah.
to really
Yeah.
follow your own personal belief system. And that will shift throughout the year. It really will.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you think you are right now, it's going to
Yeah.
change. So
Yeah. And it should be interesting because it's about well-being, and well-being is like health issue, because six energy is about our health and the healthcare industry and
yeah,
doctors, nurses, all that, the
yeah,
vaccines. And it should be interesting what comes out.
yeah,
And I'm not saying like it's going to be this or that because I don't know for sure, but I feel like there will be some things that will enlighten us
yeah,
as a population. Um,
yeah.
Heck, it might be where like I decide like, yeah, I'm gonna go get vaccinated now. Like I don't
You
know,
might, yeah.
right?
You never
But
know,
it, but
right?
it's like right now, so Joanna, like we're in this together. It's like our
Yeah,
instincts are telling us no. So and that's what we're following. And there's a reason.
yeah.
So
But it
that
is upsetting. I can see my mom
yeah,
saying about my brother not getting
yeah,
vaccinated. It does upset the family in a way
yeah,
because we're all working toward one common goal, and it feels like the argument is worth more to him, to my brother. I'll just say that it feels like the
yeah,
argument is worth more to him than just having us know that COVID's not going to be the problem in our household for my dad. If it wasn't
yeah,
for my dad, I don't know what kind of viewpoint I would have on this. Would I
yeah,
be vaccinated? Probably. I probably would be
yeah.
vaccinated right now. Yeah. But again, because of my own personal belief system. So
Hmm.
that's it. So we all have to
Yeah,
follow that belief system. Even my brother,
yeah,
he's
that's
following
right.
that,
Yeah, yeah,
and so
yeah. And love and light to all of you. Right?
thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I
And I
agree.
think, and we
Yes.
got to stop, like, whether you're vaccinated or not, like I I'm finding it very cruel how some people are saying, well, I hope you get the COVID.
That's
Like, come
horrible.
on,
Oh, it's so horrible.
you guys.
Absolutely.
And I want to say,
Yeah.
this is what I wanted to say. So apparently I have one vaccination. I'm considered I have one vaccination because I got COVID last year.
Yeah.
So apparently, like but it's counted as one shot or one vaccine. So, you know, I know I'm very fortunate that I recovered from that. It wasn't as serious as some people, get sick.
Yeah.
And I just, I just, we can't do that. We can't say like, because of what you decide or what your belief system is that you wish ill will
Yeah.
on another. Like we got to
Yeah.
stop that. Come on.
Well, we
So,
have to break free of some of these societal norms, I guess. The Lovers does follow the Hierophant, which is all about decrees and standardization. And we're coming out of that from 21, which was a number 5, and that is the Hierophant. So rules, regulations, imposing your own personal power on the world. And so sacrifice your argument for the sake of peace is what I'm
Yeah.
hoping for. That's the
Yeah.
sacrifice I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I love the conversation. I hate
Yeah.
the argument. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So Joanna, that was, beautiful of you to bring it up, and very brave to ask that question because it's not easy.
No, it's not.
Because a lot of people take it personally and take offense to it, and then everything gets heated, and it's like, oh my
Exactly.
God, and then a big blowout.
Right.
Okay. So, but there was a
Yes.
reason why. There was a reason why I brought up, and it's connected to well-being. So there you
That's
go.
right.
It's all divine.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And then that leads up because you were talking about family. So family is also a theme word for the year, but it goes deeper than that. So, and it's interesting because it's like I'm wondering how many people, like especially from 2021, have broken bonds with family members,
Yeah, I'm curious
but
too. Yeah.
also have strengthened maybe some certain family bonds as well. So this is a
Yeah.
year where family comes into focus, and it's like more than just about blood though. So family we're learning and connecting with, like, oh, well, like Julie, you're my sister, even though we're
Yes.
not blood, but it's like you're my sister,
Yeah. You're mine
right?
too. Yes.
And so for me it's like you're my family.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so like that's just an example. So there'll be many of us who'll be like looking at, like, you know what, no, Joe is more like my brother than my brother is. So Joe is going to be part of my family, and we're going to be wanting to relate and show that more. And I think, a lot of issues connected to family and what family truly means, well-being with the family, healing
Yeah.
those bonds, breaking from those bonds. It might be because, I got to walk away, they're not my family anymore, as difficult that might be. That's in focus, and creating, I guess, family, like, what does that look like for you? What does that feel like? What kind of family environment do you want to be part of,
Yeah.
interact with?
I love that.
Hmm.
That's very important for us to find early on in this year too, because we're going to need that strength throughout the
Hmm.
year, those bonds, and it can mean anything. Like you said, you and I are family, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be blood by any means.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know this audience, like our group here, we're
Yes,
family. We're a type
absolutely.
of family, right?
Oh, yes. I love that.
Yeah, and I love that too.
Yeah,
Like, um, yeah.
I love that.
Oh,
Building
and
the
I don't,
bonds.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't think your mom's happy with me
Why would you say that?
because she wrote. Did you see what she wrote?
I just see it upsets me that my son won't get vaccinated.
Okay, so she added another one below.
Yeah.
Oh, great, another family member who isn't vaccinated.
Ah,
So I don't know if she's
she's
talking about.
joking. She's joking. Because my brother does upset her with my dad
Yeah.
situation. So she's totally kidding.
But see,
Yeah.
I see it from a stance, like with your mom saying that, it's like because she cares.
Yeah. She
And
does care about you. She does.
she doesn't want no harm brought on by this,
That's
right?
right.
Because her belief system is the vaccination is a form of protection.
Yeah.
So, oh, and
Yeah.
your mom's totally joking.
I
Okay.
knew she was. You should know her better than that by now. She's totally
But
joking.
it's very sweet. Like, it's very, you're concerned, and it's, even though she was joking, but I feel like, no, she wasn't. And it shows that she cares. And
Oh, yeah.
that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you, darling.
Yes. Right? Your
Thank
new
you. Yeah.
family.
Yeah. So
Thanks,
it'll be
Mom.
like, yeah. So family will be like, more about our soul connections
Yeah.
than, it won't always be about the blood relations. So it'll be like soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, oh yeah, and I wrote because, like, it'll be like the meaning of love in various forms. So it's like, if you find there's someone in your family, or if you in your family, like, you can't relate to, or it's um painful, or they're not a good influence, you can still love them, but it'll be a different kind of love. It's like, I wish them well, or I send them love, and they have to live their life and I live my own. And
That's right.
this is going to be my family over here. So I want people to find comfort in that and find, like,
Yeah.
it's okay, right? It's okay.
Yes. I love that. Yeah.
Hmm.
And don't punish yourself, stop punishing yourself for things not working with
hmm.
certain relationships and
Yeah,
situations. It is time to let that go, because we're just punishing ourselves, and it inhibits us from making new connections and reaching out and opening
that's
our
right.
heart, because we feel
Yeah,
like failures in our
that's
own
right.
personal relationships. So don't do that to yourself. Figure out, but do own your part. Do own some
Yes.
responsibility in why things didn't work out, because that's the only way
Hmm.
we can learn and change and make better decisions in the future. So
Exactly.
yeah,
There,
don't
yes,
don't
yeah,
just
and
point
that
the
relates
finger.
to the six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Six is about service and and it can be like, the industry, so the service industry, and like there's a lot of, I mean, I want to say just every job is about service, really.
yeah,
But especially, let's say, in terms of those, like, customer service will come, let's say, be in the forefront. So we might be re-examining and really taking a close look at what customer service is really about. Like, will the customer always be right? Is the customer should always be number one? Because I'm going to say that I think there's going to be some pushback from the companies that will be like, you know what, this model doesn't work. It doesn't serve us well, right? So
yeah,
it's like, so service industry, but also like what serves us. So does this serve us well? Does this serve, our higher calling, like whatever form you want to look at it. So service and serving.
yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll see, right?
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you're being served, like, sometimes it could be like, am I, you know, am I serving well?
Yeah,
Am I serving, and it doesn't always have to be connected to career. It could be like, to another. Could it be like, am I doing well by them or doing well by me? Is this serving me? Right? Because
yeah,
it goes in all, it pings back, like a reflection, the mirror,
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. And I see Karen saying that her brother and her don't talk, and she wishes she had a better relationship and with her stepsister. That's
Mhm.
happening all over the world. It really is, because of the conversations that we just had earlier in our nice, understanding, compassionate way. One day those conversations will be spreading throughout, and there'll be more
Mhm.
understanding for where we're standing in our life and the
Yeah.
decisions that we've made. So I hope you don't feel like you're alone in that, Karen. That
Yeah.
that
No.
really is a worldwide problem.
Yeah. And I can't believe I'm going to be admitting this, but I'm not on speaking terms with my brother. We had a falling out. So,
Yeah, it's
um,
everywhere. It really is.
yeah. So it's, it is what it is. And I hate that expression, but I mean,
Yeah,
I, was it, I'm trying to find peace with it, and where I want him to be well and do well. So,
yeah. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
Michael's family hasn't spoken to us in 15
Mm.
years, so
It happens a
not one
lot.
of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I
It's
want to
all
say,
yeah.
it's like, look at it. Does it serve you well to think about it,
Exactly. Or do
to
you
go
keep
over it
going
over?
forward?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. And
right.
it's just like, okay, so you know what? If it doesn't, then just like, okay, this was a very profound learning
That's
experience.
right.
It made me wiser, made me appreciate the relationships I do have in my life right now,
That's
and it
right.
and it makes
Yes.
me be a better person to relate to who comes into my life now. And I just wish them love and light. You could do that. It could be as simple as that. And so
Yeah.
that you can, yeah, move
Yeah,
forward
it
and be,
hurts. It does
hmm,
hurt. I'm not going to
yeah,
gloss over it and
yeah,
say, "Oh, you'll be fine." It hurts the rest
yeah,
of your life, especially when you never reconnect. There's
yeah,
no closure there, so
yeah.
it's not easy. It's really
Hmm.
not. It's not it just feels so unfamiliar to you because you're so used to having these bonds when you're growing up and these people you can count on and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
you feel alienated, you feel orphaned, you know, and
Yeah.
it's a horrible feeling. It's horrible. I see
Yeah.
Jessica's going through it too. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when we need to
So
come together as this
there you go.
community and help each other and be there
There
for
we
each other
go.
and hold that
That's
hand
right.
out. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So it's there you go. Look what
Yeah,
we're creating.
look at that.
Okay. I want to say let's there's some lighthearted theme words. So beauty, fashion, health, food. Those are areas connected to the number 6 year as well. So fashion, it should be interesting. Like, I mean, I want to say, yeah, I think like maybe people will want to, I don't know, maybe dress up more, or they'll be more aware of what they're wearing, or they want to look good in their fashion. It could be also like, the choices that we make.
Yeah,
Also, the fashion industry maybe could be in the spotlight as far as like, okay, how do they serve us? Like, are they, because the 6 is connected to the environment, right?
yeah,
So it's like, okay, these industries they're connected to the environment. So it's like, how are they helping and contributing to, the pollution, to the destruction? Are they, serving the
yeah,
environment well? Can they improve? Like, so those will come to attention.
absolutely. Yeah,
Um, yeah, and the food too. So it's like, okay, the food industry, like again, like, connected to the environment, but also like the foods that we eat. And you know what? I just have a feeling like some of these fast food places are going to get into trouble. And it may
yeah,
not necessarily about money, but like, what they serve or how they,
yeah, what they're feeding us. Yeah.
yeah, and
I
they
think
get
a
into
lot of
trouble.
industries are going
Yeah,
to get into trouble for that,
yeah. So it'll
right?
be, hmm
Which
to
is about
find out.
time. You know,
Yeah,
we
it
have
is.
to be careful. We have to mind everything we put into our bodies. We really do.
Yeah,
We have to research it and know what it
yeah,
is. And you can't
exactly.
trust. We used to have
Yeah,
blind trust
yeah,
that
yeah,
they wouldn't be giving us anything that would be harmful. And we've learned that's not the case. So
yeah,
please be
exactly.
aware of what you're putting in your body for
Yeah.
sure.
And I'm just going to quickly pause from our forecast and just address. So, Tracy, welcome. It's nice that you're here. But just letting you know, this show is not about personal messages. We're sharing about the year 2022 for the collective.
Yeah.
So,
Come
you're
back
welcome to
though.
stay. Yeah, come back. We do one of those shows once a month.
Mhm.
Um, but you're welcome to stay and just continue listening to what we share about the year 2022.
And the
Um,
collective, you can pick up a
yeah,
lot with the collective because everyone is going through something similar with the energy. And the energy is what
yeah,
we're talking about.
that's
So
right. Yeah,
that affects everybody and is a good way for us to elevate ourselves when we do talk about the energies and where we're coming from. So we can
yeah.
really refine where we're going with those
And
energies.
stay tuned because the messages for the collective relate to love.
Yes, they
So,
do.
yeah,
Yes.
later on.
I think the year
Um,
itself relates to love, honestly,
yeah,
and choosing love. I really
yeah,
do.
yeah. Learning, school. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh, it's just amazing how many people, like, I don't have to know them well, but I'm hearing, like, I want to go back to school. I'm thinking of taking some classes. So,
Yeah. I've heard that.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so this is a year where people will want to learn something. I mean, we
Yeah.
learn all the time just in
Yeah.
life and from each other in general, but
Yeah.
I feel like connected to schooling, like, yeah, there'll be people like, I want to take some classes. I want to learn how to do this. And it
Yeah.
doesn't always have to be connected to like your career path. It could just be because you want to learn a new skill. It's going to be coming down to learning a skill.
Yeah.
So let's say if you're like cooking, you might want to think like, I want to learn how to cook Greek food, like the recipes and everything that I need to know. And like that'll be a
Yeah.
skill, right? Even though
Oh
you might
yeah.
think like it's for fun, you're not going to go open up a Greek restaurant, but I mean that it could be just as that, right? So it'll
Well,
be,
maybe. You never know.
I guess, yeah, yeah. So
Maybe that's your calling. Greek
yeah,
food. Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be
Conscious,
fun.
conscious learning, right? Not
Hmm.
these
Yeah,
karmic lessons and
that's
the
right. Yeah,
situations we find ourselves
exactly.
in, but a conscious learning of things. Yeah.
Exactly. I like that how you say
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. I like that.
Um, okay, so career life. So career.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us will be thinking about, okay, the path of our career. Are we in the career we want to be? Should we try something new, different? People might want to leave their career and start a new career, no matter what age you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Conscious decisions, right?
yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
I love
Exactly.
that. And thank you, Kristen. Thank you so much for joining us. I love that. New people coming in. Joanna
Yeah.
called her in, so I love
Yeah, that's very
that.
sweet of you, Joanna. Thank you. Yes, welcome. Okay, and I guess we'll talk about the challenges with the number.
Okay.
So, responsibilities. And you had touched upon it earlier where it's like owning. So, yeah, this is a year we have to, excuse my language, own our shit.
Yes, absolutely.
And we are responsible for a lot of things for ourselves in our life, whether we want to see it or whether we like
Yeah.
it or not. So it
Yeah.
can, that's where it's going to get deep and profound, and it can be very intense for some.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's try not to go down the road of blaming or fault. It's not about fault or blaming, but just about like, okay, I can see the role I played in this situation, or I can see the role I played in how I felt about this or how I reacted. And once you acknowledge that, it's empowering, and you can heal it, and it's like, okay, you
Yeah.
better, you become better for it, whether even though it's hard to admit it and to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Don't avoid the responsibility for your actions.
Hmm.
We all make decisions. Maybe you made a
Yeah.
decision, there was some instant gratification in the past, and you made a decision. And
Yeah.
so when it didn't work out, you're just beating yourself up, or you're pointing the finger at everyone else of why it didn't
Yeah.
work out.
Yeah.
And which is probably our first
Hmm.
reaction
Yeah.
as humans. It's not
Yes.
our fault, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I think
Me?
this is
I
a
did
year,
nothing
yeah,
wrong.
right?
Yeah.
It was everyone else's fault. It was the
Yeah.
world's fault,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's natural. Don't beat yourself up for
Yeah.
that either. But eventually, you will take responsibility for your part in it, which is
Yeah.
part of the lovers. Taking
Yeah.
responsibility, owning your part in it, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
from it. Then
Yeah.
you don't just beat yourself up for ever either, like me. You learn from that so you can make
Yeah.
better decisions in the
That's
future.
right. And honestly, I'm speaking from experience, like the the sooner, or that you can sit with it and be like, okay, yeah, this is, I take responsibility for
I
whatever.
did
It can
it.
be an action, a feeling, a thought.
Yep.
The sooner you can do that and acknowledge it, like you will feel lighter, believe it or not. Like you will feel better
That's
because
right.
it's like you learned that lesson.
That's
You
right.
know that lesson now, and it's like you'll do better next time. I
That's
promise you,
right.
promise you, promise you.
Yes, you absolutely will.
And the other thing with the response with the challenge is we're going to feel at times we've got like a lot on our plate. Like we
Yeah.
have, there's a lot that we need to take care of. And it's like all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's say you want to do something. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a lot involved. I have to take care of all these things. So the responsibilities, you can feel like at times like there's a lot on your shoulders. There might be a lot weighing heavy on your heart. And this is where like, okay, taking care. What can you take care of? Can you call in help? Can someone help you take care of things with this as well, right?
Yeah.
Boundaries, setting, being, setting limits, or pacing yourself, right?
Right.
Will help as well with all that
Yeah.
stuff. Hmm.
And knowing your boundaries, we tend
Yes.
to overgive as
Yeah,
who we are,
that's
so
right.
know your boundaries
That's
too.
right.
Don't.
And that could be where, like, it's like, okay, I'm only responsible for so
Yes.
much. Like you can't be
Yeah.
responsible. Like, how is this person going to feel if I don't do this? That's
That's right.
that's not your responsibility. That's their, you
That's
see. So
right.
sometimes it can be, when you realize those from that manner, from that, point of view, it'll be a lot easier for you and lighter.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Yeah,
be aware of
for sure.
that. The environment. Oh my gosh. I This is going to be a year. I feel like, I mean, we've had some quite the natural weather phenomena, but I feel like
Yeah.
this year, especially so. Um,
Yikes.
Very, very extreme. I feel like land, like, because it's connected to, and I get like icy conditions, water, severe flooding. Um, I mean, I hate to say this. I don't know how far I should go with it because this might freak some people out, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering if there's going to be some land masses that will just be submersed in water. Like that,
Mm,
that's it.
yeah.
That's
Scary.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't get too caught up in that though. I mean, as everyone, because then we're in a future that hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet, and then we're
Yeah.
just in fear. And
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
happening around us every day. Those things happen. Really, it
Yeah.
does. It happens every
Yeah.
day, and it doesn't always make the news. So don't get
Yeah.
caught up too much in what we can't control, because we really
That's
don't
right.
have any control over that.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
focus on what you do have control over.
That's right. But the water is of a concern this year.
Yeah,
And
I see
for
that in the
yeah,
cards. Yeah,
yeah, and for some reason, like I was tasting bleach.
really
Yeah, so I want to
disinfectant.
say, I'm wondering if there's going to be like some water treatment centers that will be using bleach. I mean, I think some do already, like
Yeah,
to treat the water, like to clean the water. So just be aware of that. And I think we have to be really aware of what we put into our water and how clean it is and isn't. So like the pollution connected to our waterways. And I think, we all have to step up to the plate and
yeah,
do our part in some way, in some manner. I don't know how that will all entail, but
yeah.
yeah, so it
Right.
could be like, as easy as like don't litter.
Yeah.
Make sure, you put your garbage in the garbage. It could be like, okay, I'm
Build
not
an
gonna
ark.
dump I'm not gonna dump my medicine down the sink, right? Like take it to
Yeah.
the
Right.
pharmacy and they recycle it,
That's right. A lot of
right?
people don't
So
know that. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah. A lot of
so
people don't know that.
yeah,
That when you're putting it down the drain, you're putting it into our water
yeah,
supply. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
So
hormones and all kinds of things. Yeah.
yeah, so the environment and like the number six, it's family, but it's also Mother Earth. So
Yeah.
that's why, I wonder, it's like, what the planet and how we treat her and how we take care of her will come to the forefront, and at times maybe more so than this COVID news.
I
So,
hope so.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're going to be hearing a lot about environmental news and
Yeah.
initiatives, and I'm hoping like there'll be inventions where it'll be like, wow, like this is going to help the environment, which will be
Yeah.
awesome. So it's not all
Right.
bad. Yeah.
Not all bad. Yeah.
Um,
I love Arlene's comment about being
mhm,
aware of the things that are not my responsibility. That should be
that's
my
right.
mantra, Arlene.
Yeah,
Because, yeah, I
that's right.
took the weight of the world on my shoulders, and then trying to shed that is so difficult because people are counting on you now
Yeah,
to be there and to fix this and to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And so it's time to shed that. It really is. It's time to kind of convey that responsibility to those that are around you, because they're strong enough to take that on.
yeah,
They are. That's why they're in your inner circle right now. So
yeah,
trust them
exactly.
with that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think we've kind of weeded out who's not going to be there for us by now, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so more of the challenges. Population
Hmm.
comes,
That's
yeah.
come up a
And I know
lot.
there's,
Yeah.
yeah, so and that's been coming up a lot. Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I do feel like, whether we like it or not, people are going to be saying like, how much can this planet hold as far as the population?
Yeah.
It's going to be connected, because it's, families. Like people are going to be looking at like, why are you having 20 kids,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
planet, like, so there will be arguments about that.
Yeah. I can see
Birth
that.
control,
Yeah.
controlling family numbers. Like I'm wondering too if there's going to be some countries that are going to put limits on how many, what, sizes of families, like, okay,
Mm,
couples can only have maybe one kid or two kids, right? Because China did that.
yeah, I remember.
So,
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting if that plays out. And then it's like it can go the other way. Will there be a drop in the population numbers because of these environmental disasters or because of health
Hmm.
issues, right? So it can go that way as well. Again, I don't want people to freak out about that message.
Well, we have no control over
That's right.
that, only our personal
Yeah.
lives.
And we're
And
not, yeah. And it's,
yeah.
yeah. So
So,
it's
but it's
just
good to
something.
know. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Meeting our basic needs. So, yes, again, there's been talk, people might say that's not a psychic message. There's been talk of inflation and there's shortages and think prices are going up, up, up. So, yeah, that isn't a psychic message, but it's like the six energies about our needs, our basic needs. So, housing, shelter, so shelter, food.
Yeah.
What else is a basic need?
Food, shelter,
Shelter, clothing.
clothing. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all connected to the six energies. So this is going to be like, okay, agencies, I feel like are going to be overwhelmed, especially by this. I want to say the summer, but it'll be winter in some parts of the world. So by June, July,
Yeah.
this is like we're learning. Okay, industry or our way meeting our basic needs shouldn't all be about what connected to the money. So it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to share what I have with you because, I want to help you out or you need it, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be that playing out. It's not just like we can't just rely on the agencies or the government or
Right.
to help us out. It's going to be like our each other,
Yeah.
families,
Exactly that.
we're going to have to come together as family, family,
Yeah.
like, and again,
Again,
that's not, it won't be the blood, right? It's not always
that's
going to be
right.
the blood families are going to help, but it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we need to help each other out and feed each other, clothe each other, house each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think,
Absolutely.
and then, but the good thing is like, there could be solutions that come up that will, be win-win or benefit the collective, right? Because
Oh,
housing is
yes.
getting really expensive, food is getting expensive, and it's like, why is that? Why?
Yeah.
Why is that? And what's the solution? And there's better ways,
Well, part
right?
of you saw the Three of Swords too for 2022. And part of the Three of Swords energy is grieving and sadness, but it's shadows coming to light. I
Mm,
think people, not that they weren't unaware that people were starving on the street. It's not that we weren't aware, but it didn't hit
mhm.
this close to home. Now we're
Yeah,
seeing members of our family, not
yeah,
necessarily blood, who
yeah,
are just not making it. They're sick, they're tired, they're
yeah,
hungry, they're, and
yeah,
so I think compassion is really going to come forth out of all of
yeah,
this desperation. And um, it used to just be something you'd see on the news, and you'd
yeah,
be like, oh, that's so sad, and it didn't really hit home, but it's really hitting home now of how
yeah,
people are needing help,
yeah,
real help.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
out of all that darkness comes the light and the rainbows
That's right.
and it just scurries all those shadows away when everyone's aware. We need awareness of it for sure.
Yeah, and that's how we create community and
That's
family,
exactly
right?
it.
And that's
Absolutely.
what this year is about. It's about creating
Yes,
that. Yeah.
that's right. That's the good that comes out of that.
Okay. So I want to talk, I want to bring up the spirit animal
Yes.
because it's connected to, yeah, so the spirit animal for the year is the penguin.
I love that. I did like it. The penguin is
Yeah,
a wonderful creature.
it is. Yeah. So, and it's interesting because it ties into like icy and water, right? Because
Yes,
the
right.
penguin habitat is, there's some penguins that live, in icy cold conditions, but they're all connected to water. The penguin needs the water. So that's where, like, so that's why water, is one of the main messages. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, penguins, like I get marching. and it's interesting because I see marching and I can see marching feet. So I want to say there's positive. So it's like people are going to be like, okay, I'm going to march on through with this idea or this goal, or I'm going to march on
Determination.
ahead. Yeah. Like, it's like, I'm just going to keep marching forward, right? Or marching through this challenge, right?
I
But
love that.
then it also feels kind of like, oh, like marching, what's going to be marching into our lives. It could be restrictive. It could be like, is there going to be some things forced upon us?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I think of when I see marching, I think of like the army, right? The
Yeah.
military. So it's like, okay, is there going to be, I mean,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
armies, yeah, are the
Yeah, an
armies going to be
uprising.
marching through?
Yeah.
Yeah, an uprising. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there going to be
Which could,
military coups happening in
yeah.
different parts of the world? I mean, and it's like no one's immune. Like, I mean, it could happen in Canada, which
Yeah.
is considered a peaceful country, right? It could
Right.
happen,
In the
yeah,
US.
in the US, anywhere. It doesn't
Anywhere.
always have to be these countries that are,
I know.
volatile or that are always, at war with their
Right.
neighbors or with, the people because of whatever. Yeah. So be aware of that.
Yeah.
The other good things about the penguin, they are very romantic, and they pick one partner. So when they are in a relationship, they stick with that one
I love
partner.
that.
I know, I do too.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. So I feel like, that's going to be significant for a lot of people who want, whether it's like you're in a present relationship and you want to stick and strengthen that bond,
Hmm.
or if you're looking for love relationship, it's like you're going to be looking for that true one person, like
Yeah.
that you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Right.
um and they're very also very family oriented, like they
Yeah.
and they share the responsibilities. Like, it's not just on the female penguin that
That's
raises
right.
the young or looks
That's
after,
right.
right?
She
The
hands it
male,
over. Yeah.
yeah, the male penguin steps in and he has his responsibilities. Like, he has his fair share. And it's like, that's what I like too. So this is a year where it's like, you know what? Any of the men who think like, oh, the woman can
Yeah.
cook, she can clean, she can look after all this. It's like, no, that ain't happening
Yeah.
anymore. Like, you got to
Thank
step up
God.
to the plate. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I love Tanis's remark. She says the
yeah,
military has also been stepping up to help with environmental situations, and that's
yes,
very true in the US
yeah,
too, with things, so
yeah,
infrastructure. So yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, you're
yeah. And
right.
here in Canada as well, it's
And the
been,
penguins work as a team too. That is a community. Talk about
yeah,
community, right?
yeah,
They go in these communities and they don't vary from there because they'll die if they step
yeah,
out of that community. But no matter the conditions, these harsh conditions on the
yeah.
penguins, right?
They
And
come
they
together.
thrive. They
Yeah,
thrive in their
yes,
environment. So
yes,
it can show that love and community and support and
yes.
strength, it doesn't matter what's happening, so
That's
much
right.
around us. So I
Yeah.
love that.
So yeah, and you know, there's the color, so it's like black and white, right?
Yeah, and
And
it
but the
seems like
yellow.
that. Yeah.
So it's like, things
Yeah.
aren't always as black and
Yes.
white as they seem to be. And
That's right.
it's like bringing the joy. Because when I think of yellow, I think of smile, joy,
Yeah.
right?
Happiness. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say, everyone, after this show, like, look up the spiritual meaning of the penguin, and also like even the scientific or the biology meaning, because even like the biology, like
Yeah.
how they are, their traits, not just spiritual but also physical, and how they live, like, will count for us and influence us this year. And even look as that, to inspire you, implement
Yes.
some of those traits, into your life if you can.
Yeah.
Let that,
Thrive no matter what's happening around you. Thrive.
that's
Make that
right.
your goal.
Yeah, yeah. And, care and share for one another.
That's right.
Be the penguin this year,
Yes. I love it.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Now, I don't know. Do you want to go with the tarot, or should I talk about the 222s a
Talk
bit?
about the 222s
Okay,
because
and
the
then we'll do the tarot.
tarot's very basic. I don't have a whole lot to say about it
Okay.
anyway. So
Okay. So I wanted to bring up the 222. So even though like 2022 adds up to a 6, the twos, there's 3 twos in that year, and that strongly, strongly influence us. So I want to say it's going to create lessons and experiences that are going to be quite profound and deep for all of us. Okay. So that means like the challenges we face will be more difficult. And at times it'll feel very daunting, like things are stacked up against us. And there's this revolving door effect. So it's like when you feel like you're entering or leaving a situation, experience, or challenge, and it'll be like it hits you again. It's like, what? I've got to get through this now. Like, so it's like one thing after another, or it comes from all different directions. It won't be like that constantly, but there'll be like, spurts of that. That's where the master souls comes in, because master souls, they get it. Because that's their life. That's been part of their life journey. When they go through challenges and difficulties, it's not just one thing at a time. Like they get hit from all directions, or it happens one thing after another.
Yeah.
So they get it. And so that's where like this master souls, like that's where they'll need to step up, and they'll be there for others. Like, there'll be that sounding board, or that listening board, or that support in some manner. Things will feel more intense. So it's like, and it'll be very, very much on an emotional level, because twos is a very emotional energy. It comes from the heart. We'll feel things deeply from the heart. It's like we'll seem to, like, people who say like, that never bothered me before, I didn't care so much, you're going to care now.
Right. Yeah.
And especially of subjects or areas where it's like you never maybe paid attention to, or it's like it wasn't a big deal, it's a big deal now.
Yeah.
That's going to be normal of this year. We'll also want to share more profoundly. So I feel like it can be very rewarding in the sense it's like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it all out there. I'm going to just like share my heart out. I'm going to cry my heart out, or I'm going to sing my heart out, or I'm going to love my heart out. Like it's going to be like that profound, that intense.
Yeah.
I want to say, though, really listen to your heart, everyone, because it's connected to the heart energy. So despite what maybe, if everyone else says differently, but your heart is like beating so strongly in a certain direction or a certain way, listen to that, because it will know. Okay. It will not lead you astray, believe it or not. Even though you might think like, this is crazy, or I don't know, I'm scared. Listen to your heart.
Yeah.
I want to say love and relationship comes. This is a year, and I've been getting that a lot with clients, like love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, part of people want to know, but especially so right now, people really want to be with their soulmate, is what I'm hearing. Is my soulmate, is this person my soulmate?
Yeah.
I broke up with this person, or I met this person a few years ago, but nothing's happening because I feel we're soulmates.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
Now I want to say something about soulmates when it comes to, so we both agree that soulmates can be a friend, a pet, a family member. It's not just about an intimate relationship.
That's right. Yeah.
But when it comes to soulmate intimate relationships, I feel those are the most challenging.
They are. Yeah.
So, and they don't always work out. And I feel like, so I really want people to really ask themselves, do you want a soulmate, or do you want to be with your true love? Because there is a big difference between the two. And I know there's the other thing of like twin flames, and I'm not talking about twin flames. I feel like, do you want true love? Because true love feels gentle, kinder. Or do you want to be with a soulmate? So ask yourself that.
Twin flames are very
and twin flames is something else too.
In twin flame relationships, there's usually a runner and a chaser. And you're doing this cycle over and over and over until you become the chaser or runner, and the other one becomes the other side as well, because you're learning those lessons, those karmic lessons
Yeah.
in that twin flame. So they are very, very challenging relationships to have.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes sense because it's like tail to head,
That's right.
like
That's right.
chasing and being chased.
Yeah.
And for me, soulmate intimate relationships, I feel it's a lot of times it's connected to a contract.
Hmm. Me
So it's
too.
like you are like breaking bonds. That's what I get. That's why I feel
Yeah.
like, there might be like, why can't we seem to get our acts together? Why can't we
Yeah.
connect? Why are we arguing about this or that? Why are they hesitating? Because I feel like, you're pushing each other's buttons and you're breaking bonds and like fulfilling a contract that, okay, we need to stop doing this, or we need to be aware of this and heal it, let it,
Yeah.
so that's why it doesn't always work out. I would rather have true love.
Yes. Partnership,
Right?
companionship,
Yeah.
understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody who's
Yeah.
not your mirror all the time, because that's what
That's
gets so
right.
challenging, is they're spewing to you what you're,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so that's just challenging. It's
Yeah.
so hard to work through it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I've
And
seen
true
it.
love for me
Yeah.
is about sharing the love. It's like,
Yes.
okay, I don't agree with what you believe in, or I don't agree with what you say, but I love you anyways
Yes.
because
I
you're true
feel
to me. Yeah.
like everyone, the world really has gone through this identity crisis with COVID, with the pandemic. We were all sent home for how long? A long time. And we didn't have work in the gym and the clubs and to get our identities. We had all these masks on of who
Yeah.
we were. We'd go out at night, we'd be somebody, the party girl, or at
Yeah.
daytime we were the accountant, or whatever that those roles were. So
Yeah.
COVID really forced us to be truly authentic with ourselves. And that
Yeah.
shines through when you're authentically you and you're not wearing that mask for whatever reason. We're starting to take those off.
Yes.
And
And
love
that's
me or like hate me, and
And
yeah,
that's why this is a year. I think that makes sense why I keep hearing people, no, ask for your true love. You want
right.
your true love because you're finding out your true soul
That's
self,
right.
or the
Yes,
truth of you is coming out, or you're
that's right.
acknowledging the truth of you. So you would want that with your partner,
That's right.
right? You did all this
Yeah.
work for what?
Yeah.
So you can be someone you're not, or just to
That's
please
right.
someone. And
Or to have
that's,
it
yeah,
taken away from you, because
yeah,
those roles were taken from us. They were stripped
yeah,
from us. So we were at home like, well, who am I?
yeah,
How do I fit here?
yeah, yeah,
And so it was really, really, I think, good for the collective as a whole to really
yeah,
come out of this as our authentic self and
yeah,
genuine. And
yeah.
here's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like true love is about like, um, I truly love me for me. All
Right.
my faults,
Right.
all my
That's right.
strengths, like everything, whatever my weaknesses, like all
Yes.
that. And it's like I want that person to love me for me too. And that
That's
means
right.
all my strengths, all my
That's
weaknesses,
right.
all my good and bad habits. Like, yeah, it's
But
not easy.
how can they love you for you when you're not showing your weaknesses?
Yeah,
You're
that's
keeping those
right.
back because you're afraid of rejection.
And
So that's
that's,
how
yeah,
we were, I think,
yes,
pre-pandemic, right? we were
yes.
we were hiding those weaknesses because we didn't
That's
want
right.
anyone to find
That's
out
right.
that
That's
we were
right.
weak there. So
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. And soulmate is, I feel like, that illusion of like, like everything's a fairy tale and
Yeah,
it's,
never have a
but when,
fight. Yeah.
yeah, but then it's like, oh, they're pushing my button. It's irritating. And I don't, and that's where you're, breaking the bonds and you're
Right.
like, it's bringing your true soul self out of each other. That's what soulmates are about. It's like,
Yeah,
let's know, I want to see the real you, right? And
that's
that's why
right.
soulmate relationships are hard, and true love is like, I want people to have true love this year. So if you're in a
Me
relationship
too.
and you love
Yeah,
that person dearly and you want to stick with them, then okay, that's your true love, and strengthen that true love bond. You're going to relate on a different level. And if you're single,
absolutely.
because you've broken up or you're divorced, separated, whatever it is, and you're like looking for
Yeah.
love, I want you to find your true love.
Yes, me too. Let's put
Okay.
that out there.
Yeah.
Everybody find their true
Let's
love.
let's all let's all march like the penguin to our true love.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Arlene is lucky enough to have that, and me
That's
too,
nice.
Arlene. I really am. I've been married 36 years, and I have that. but we do argue and we do fight
Yeah.
and we do go through things
Yeah.
together. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
this happy ever after that
Yeah.
everyone's wanting, and it's
Yeah.
work. It's work.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, you can even look at it as it's like, those who, it's like, what is love truly about?
that's right.
Right? And you
What
can
does
look
it
at it
mean?
that way too. And it
Yeah,
means like, it's like, loving when they're at their worst and loving them when they irritate you and
that's right. Loving
right.
them
So,
anyway. That's right. Yeah.
yeah. And loving yourself as well, right?
That
So,
comes first. You really
yeah.
do have to learn how to, even in an intense relationship, we don't put ourselves first because we're putting that other person first. We've got them
Yeah.
first in our life and everything. So you do have to put yourself first. You have to be that passenger to put the mask on first when the plane's going down, because you
Yeah.
really won't be able to help anyone, and the relationship will fail if
Yeah.
you're not taking care of yourself and your needs, and you're just
Yeah.
not wanting to hurt feelings, or you're just not wanting to rock the boat. A lot of marriages, we were talking about that earlier, go on and on and on because they're so afraid of change.
Hmm.
That doesn't have anything to do with love or
Yeah.
commitment or
Yeah.
that. So there's
Yeah.
all these reasons, right?
Yeah.
But true
Yeah.
love is a partnership, a divine partnership to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, and I want to say, I'm going to say, like, everyone maybe try this exercise. I'm just putting it out there as a suggestion. You don't
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
but like, sit down and start, you know, looking at what do you truly love about yourself and your love and your life,
I love that. Yeah.
right? And then you can even extend it to those that are a part of your life, if whether you're in a relationship or not, right? So it's like,
Yes.
I truly love that I can be funny about things,
Yeah.
and or I truly love that
Yeah.
um Julie is my soul sister. I love that. Like, and
I
then
love
you'll
that.
just find like your heart expands.
That's right.
And I think that's what we need right now, the world, not only just for ourselves, but the world. So I
Absolutely.
wouldn't that be a nice
Yes.
habit to
And
get into?
I love that, Tina. I love that I don't
Yeah.
have to be funny with you. I don't have to make you laugh. I can call you crying and say, God,
Yeah.
I'm having such a shitty day. And you're like, well,
Yeah.
tell me about it. You're not like instantly down with me. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I
Hmm.
know because this happened to me. You don't take it from me. You just listen. And I think that is a spiritual divine
Mm.
connection. I really do. I feel like that
Yeah.
is a soulmate now. Now you're my soulmate because you
Yeah.
soothe my soul.
But
You're not
but
competing.
but I find like our soulmate relationship is easy
Very.
because we're not in an intimate relationship,
That's
right? Because
right.
you're my sister. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. And I
Very
get that. And
easy.
I love that about you too. Like I
Yeah.
love like I can call you up and say, Julie, I'm struggling with this. And you're not going to tell me what to do, Julie. Like you just
Yeah.
like you said, like you hear me out and you let me be me.
Yeah.
And I can be bitchy, I can be a baby, and you
Right.
still love me.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Yeah, because sometimes we might feel like guilty or shameful about
Yes.
like
We can't
admitting
show them
or
that.
revealing
Right.
a part of ourselves, and it's like
That's
that's
right.
what true love is. It's like
That's
there's
right.
no shame, there's no guilt, there's no judgment.
That's
It's
right.
like I truly love you for you, and that
That's
we
right.
need more of that. That's what I feel like this year.
I
So
love
whether
that.
it's intimate or
Yeah.
not,
That's right.
okay,
Doesn't matter.
it should be
Yeah.
for who we care about and who has our heart,
That's
whether
right. I
it's a
love that.
friend, a family member, whoever. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Right. Me too.
Yes.
Me too. It just came.
Good.
And I'm
Love
and
it.
I'm just going to quickly say hello, welcome Malik. And no, today's show's not about personal messages or personal readings. We're sharing about the year 2022. So these messages are connected to the collective for everybody.
Yeah.
So you can take that personally or not, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So, but welcome. We're glad that you're here watching.
It
Yeah,
will apply for sure.
yeah,
It will
yeah.
in some area. Yeah. What? Oh,
Arlene,
39 years, 36 years. Look at us, ladies.
yeah. See, there you go. So, see, you ladies can be examples of like sharing your wisdom on true love.
Yeah.
when it comes to relationships, right?
Maybe we should make our next show about that. Eleanor and Arlene could be our
Yeah,
guests and we can talk about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I want to do that one day. Bring
Yeah, we
people
should.
on.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. Okay, all
Have
right. Yeah,
conversations with them for sure.
yeah.
We can hear their
Okay,
voice,
yeah.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting all these ideas now.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Inspired.
Okay, all right. Okay, so tarot cards. Let's talk about tarot cards.
So I pulled for the year. They came out. I had 7 major arcana in the 12 cards that I pulled. So I'm just going to go through them. So there is big lessons here for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we're ready for them. But
Mm.
January, I pulled the High Priestess. So this is
Yeah.
all about dreams, visions, serendipity, and a spiritual experience opening up to the divine information coming in from the divine for guidance. So I loved that. I feel like that was very fitting for January. I felt that energy coming in for me for sure. February pulled up the Judgment card. So
Wow.
this is a gorgeous unveiling of our souls. It's knowing your motives and your heart, and it's letting go of the shadow aspects of our story. You know, we've all been working in these shadow aspects. Those are hard lessons. Those are really hard lessons. But
Mm-hmm.
now here's that authenticity we've been talking about, that genuine truth coming out that you just can't help. It just naturally flows out of you. So there's no
Mm-hmm.
conscious decision in there that I'm going to be my authentic self. You just are,
Yeah.
you know, and I love that about the Judgment card.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us into March, which is the 6 of Wands, which is
Oh,
success and leadership and inspiring others and accomplishments and being seen. I think we're finally, by March, we're going to be seen and felt heard and acknowledged in on our paths, you know, instead of just put down you know, the arguments that we were talking about. There's going to be
yeah.
a real hearing of other opinions and
Can I
ideas.
can I
Yes,
add
go
something
ahead.
because it just
Yes.
triggered a memory?
Yes.
So no, it wasn't 2 years ago. Yeah. So when I had a dream about where I was watching, in my dream, I was watching the news because COVID had just happened. And the reporter was saying COVID's going to last for blah, blah days. And I can't remember the amount of days right now. I meant to
Yeah, I
look that up.
remember
But anyway,
this.
I
Yes.
remember. So when I woke up and it was like, oh my gosh. So I calculated like how many days that is. Now, the thing is, I don't remember in my dream if it's from when the first shutdown happened or from when I had the dream, which was in May of 2019,
Yeah.
I think, or no, 2020.
Yeah. I think it was
20,
29,
no,
maybe
2020.
2020. Yeah. 2020.
2020.
Yes. Yes.
So it worked out where, okay, if it's from like when the first shutdown happened, that means COVID is like all this COVID stuff is supposed to come to, I don't know how, but it's supposed to come to an end this March,
Yes. I love that. There it
right? So that
is.
aligns with the card. Now, if it's from when I had
Right.
my dream, it'll be in May of this year. And I don't know
I
what card you picked
love
for
that.
May. So anyways, you go on. I just had to add
Well,
that. I just thought like, wow, that aligns with the card if that's true.
I hope so
That's
because
true.
March has traditionally been my worst month of the year every year.
Mm,
March, we call it the Ides of March. You know, it's just been the lead into some horrible thing. So I hope so.
yeah.
April, we got death and
Ooh,
rebirth. So this
wow.
is the cycle of transformation and rebirth. This is the cycle we're coming into after we've been seen and heard and we become our authentic selves. We go
Mm,
through this rebirth because of that. So everything looks different now. The choice is ours. You know, what are you going to do with this new perspective of yours? And that's going to be the question in April. Is
mhm.
you're going to have this new way of looking at life, and you know what's going to come of that. That's kind of exciting, right?
Yeah, it
I
is.
like
Yeah,
I liked the cards for this.
yeah.
So May pulled up the Ace of Cups,
Wow. Oof, oof, I'm getting goosebumps. Ooh,
right? The
yeah.
Ace of Cups is
Ooh
new
la la.
beginnings in love, right? This is that love card. That this is
Spring.
more important in
Love's in
love
the
than
air.
the lovers, right? It's not as intense. It's a light-hearted love. It's a
Mm,
true love, like you're talking about, a
nice.
partnership. You know, a new beginning in love. Really is really it's awakening of the heart with newfound emotions too. You're going to find yourself having new emotions when it
Mm.
comes to love. So I loved that too.
And you know what?
Yeah.
And then so if that dream comes true, let's say for May, then
Yes.
that aligns with that too, because it's like a new beginning and we have a new outlook on life, or we're going to
That's
love life again, right? Yeah,
absolutely. It comes
whatever
right
that may
after
be.
that death and rebirth. There's a
Mm,
butterfly there in the heart space. That's complete transformation of
nice,
love and what we think about love too. So it's all
nice.
new. I loved it. I really did.
Very
Uh,
nice.
that see, and these all lead into each other. So the month before will lead into the month. That's where that energy is coming. That's where that true love comes in. We're authentic now. We're standing in our
Mm-hmm,
own truth. And then we find our true love that way, right? And then
mm-hmm.
comes instability and the King of Pentacles and
Oh, wow.
leadership,
Yeah.
the material abundance, confidence, patience, determination, all of these things come with the King of Pentacles. So that
Mm-hmm.
energy comes right after we find our true love and our partnership that we loved, right? Then in July, the moon. Here's that watery
Mm.
energy. I see the water all throughout the cards, the
Oh, yeah.
emotional kind of unknowns that we're fighting
Yeah.
with. We don't see all
Yeah.
of the facts and
Wow.
emotional, two opposing energies coming in. So
Wow. And
yeah,
July, like, is a month where, because it's Cancer and the moon is its ruling planet.
that's right. That makes a lot of sense, right? And that's where that
Yeah.
comes in.
Wow. I
Sometimes
just love how
illusions.
sometimes they all
I
I
know they all line up
align.
too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can join symbolism and metaphor too. So watch for signs in July. There's going to be a lot of signs around us too, and similarities. So
I'm kind of
that
excited for July.
me too. I love the moon for July, honestly, because you've got these two opposing forces that are coming together,
Mm,
and we're already feeling authentic. We're already feeling strong, and we're in our power by the time that comes. So we'll be able to burst through those illusions very easily, I think, by
yeah.
July. I really
Nice.
do.
Yeah, I like that.
And then the wheel comes in August, which is a beginning of a new cycle. We're going to have to mourn that old cycle, though. We are going to have to grieve it away and say goodbye to those people that we're no longer talking to, that we're no longer around, that really don't have our best interests in heart. It's not going to be easy, but we're also going to be celebrating the new coming in, too, because we've been in that energy for quite some time. So we're ready for this. And by the time it comes in May, June, July, August, so this is August, by the time it comes in August, we will be ready for new and to start over with these new relationships and new bonds. So I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That leads us into starting to plan for our future and to seeing our ships coming in from all of our hard work. We've all been working very, very hard at learning these energies and how to cope with daily life, really. And now all our efforts are finally paying off when we come into September and toward the end of the year. It wasn't all in vain, it wasn't all for naught. And we're going to really start learning that in September and finding more of a calmness about ourselves. We're not going to be so second guessing ourselves and scared about the future. We've all been so scared of this future
Mm,
that is being told to us. This is going to
yeah.
happen if you don't do this, or if you do this, this will happen. We've been
Scared,
drilled that.
scared to live.
Scared to live. Exactly
And I
right.
feel like, this is a year, and that's where we're going to be pushed. The
That's
universe is
right.
pushing us. You know what?
That's right.
Life. We're here to live. We're not
That's
here to
right.
hide and cower and
That's
be
so
scared of
right.
this and because we're all going to die,
That's right. Yeah.
right?
Right. Yes. And we don't know
So
when.
yeah, and it's about living well. So that's where
That's
well-being
right.
is. It's like we have to live well,
Love
and
it.
it's like, you know what? Our health is also about clean air, clean water, the food
That's
we
right.
eat. It's not just about like getting the vaccine or not,
That's
and
right.
then boom, like you're healthy or not. Like, come
Right.
on, right?
Right.
So it's like us people, we have to push back and say, you know what?
That's right.
Where's our clean water? Where's our clean air? We need good food. Like, and I
That's
feel
right.
like this is a year where that's going
Demanding
to be
it.
pushed back. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
demanding it now. Now
yeah,
we're taking control. We've got our own
yeah.
path in sight.
Hmm.
And there's nothing that's going to stop us at this point because the
Hmm.
fear, the rhetoric of fear has been used, and so we're
Yeah,
kind of desensitized to it now. Kind of
yeah,
backfired on them. They used it to control us and to get us to do what they wanted to do. When I say they, I mean the governments, the systems, the
yeah,
standards that were already in place before we even got here.
yeah,
But now
and
we're desensitized a little bit. We're
yeah,
like, maybe not
yeah.
we're not so quick to jump to those
Yeah.
conclusions, you know? So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that leads us to the Hanged Man, which is wonderful
Ooh.
because we're seeing everything differently. We're surrendering to the will of the cosmos at this point. So by the time October comes around, it's that true surrender that you were talking about for the year. It comes in toward the end of the year for us as a collective, but we truly do surrender to the will of the cosmos. And we see everything differently now. Now we're in a completely new perspective. After the moon, the wheel, we've planned it now, the Three of Wands, we've gained our strength. Now we're going to come into this new perspective. And it's a beautiful perspective. It leads us to the Seven of Wands and really going inside and protecting ourselves and our energy and our stories. Now we kind of come into this protective mode of stories and growth and coming into the lessons, integrating those lessons now that we've really gone through. So
can I say something about that card for November?
Yes.
Because I got chills. And it's the
Yeah.
Seven of Swords, and you said it's going within?
It is going within, yes.
So then that's when the cycle for 2020
Oh, yeah, you're right.
will happen.
You're right.
And it'll be a 7-year. And that's about
right.
going within. Like,
Oh
it's
my
about like
God, I
pulling
love that.
back. And I'm like, ooh, Julie,
Oh, I love
Julie,
it.
you and your cards are like so like fit
I love
in.
them.
I just love how we work. I just love
I
it.
do too.
Love it. Love it.
I
Thank you.
love how the numbers work alongside the tarot. I'm always amazed by that.
Me too.
It's
I
never
know.
like,
I
oh,
know. Me too. It's like when you
right?
pick, it's like I should know, like, yeah, Julie will like, and it's like, but I'm always like blown away by what you pull. Like,
Love
it's
it.
like, oh God, okay.
I
Next.
love it. And we finish off the year with the Magician. So this is
Wow.
absolutely, I can manifest the life I desire through energy, imagination, and action. Now we're not going to be all talk. Now we're not going to say someday, you know, I'll be happy when. That's no longer going to be in our vocabulary. We're going to take action in our own lives, in our own personal lives, not so much in the lives of others, but in our own personal lives. We're going to take the action that we need to create our own magic. And that is going to flow right into 23. You know, we've got these abilities that we will know what to do with by the time December comes around, and we will. So I loved it. I really did.
Yeah.
I kept changing on me, but this morning I was like meditating on it, and they just came out. It was just the timing of it, right? That's the way it always is.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
Yeah. So
I
there
know.
is the year ahead in the
That's
tarot.
like last night at 10 p.m. I'm sending you.
We're like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know.
Sending you like the outline for the show. Here we go.
That's the way we always work best.
I know. That's how, yeah, and that's great because that's energy too. Like it's not always about
That's right.
you know, ahead. It's being in the moment sometimes and just
That's what this show has taught me. You know, you just go with the moment because that will never fail you. You know, when the information and energy is coming in, that's when you're ready.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, so I'm going to add those cards to the forecast when I write it. So don't put them away because
I
didn't
won't.
write
I'll take
them
a
down.
picture. I already took a picture of it, so I'll
Okay,
send it
good.
to you.
Because I'm like, I should have written them down, but I'm like paying attention to every word that you're saying.
I love it. Thank you.
I love how you read the cards. I do.
Oh,
I do.
Thank you.
So I don't pull cards. I just sit down with the energies. And I was just when I was writing down, okay, like right away I knew what the spirit animal. It's been with me since last fall. Like I knew it's been the hello, I can't speak English. It's the penguin.
Yeah.
Like I knew since last fall it was going to be the spirit animal for 2022.
That was set.
But
yeah.
And the themes too. But the tarot, it was just like when I was writing out the outline, it's like, oh, I see the Three of Swords, the Lovers, and the Ten of Cups.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to talk about those
We
because
didn't talk about the Ten of Cups, but we did talk about the Lovers and the Three of Swords. The Ten of Cups is family, foundation, celebrations within that family too, finding things to celebrate instead of commiserate over. So I feel that coming in too. I feel us less commiserating and more celebrating with each other and our accomplishments rather than our failures. And I feel that coming in, that energy.
Yeah. And I think, you know, this, you know, people will be like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like, I want to say ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I think,
Right.
you know, people are going to say like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
enough.
it's going to,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's going to be like, you know what? I like, it's time. It's about living life. Like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I love that.
yeah. And that aligns with the energies. So,
Yeah. Stay in the moment.
not everyone will be that way. You know, there will
Right.
be, you know, there are people that are still, you know, unsure and they're fearful and, you know, you know, and it's got to do with trusting. And there's going to be those that's like, you know what, I just gotta trust. Like
Yeah.
it's time to just okay. I'm gonna live life. I'm gonna hug people, or I'm, you know, whatever it is
Yes.
that
Right.
you've been missing. You want to live life.
Yes.
Okay. All
Love
right.
that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I'm can't believe I've talked so much, but we
Good.
covered a lot.
We
So
did. We did good.
yeah, I think. And I just want to say everyone who was here watching, like, thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
like staying the whole time.
Yeah.
That's,
Wonderful. And
yeah, it is
contributing
wonderful.
all your wonderful comments.
Yes,
And I
yes.
love that. Thank
Me
you.
too. Me too. I
Yeah.
love, yeah, I love what you guys all have, guys. Well, everyone, all you ladies, it's mostly women here. But
I
guys
say
too, if
guys.
there are
Yeah.
guys here, yeah. You know, we want the men to come in too and watch and be part of this. So, but anyways, yeah, we just love, love, love hearing what you all have to say and contribute and write.
I agree that I want the men
And
to
your
come in,
presence.
but I feel like
Yeah,
22 too is a very feminine energy coming
it
in
is.
too as well. And the feminine energy is
It is.
really starting to step up now. It's like, you know what, enough of this brutality, enough of this lack of humanity anymore. And
Hmm.
we're going to fix this as the
Yeah,
feminine energy. And I know we
yeah.
will. And it doesn't just mean ladies. Honestly, the feminine energy encompasses a lot of souls, you know.
Hmm.
And the masculine plays a very important part of protection and
Yeah.
the hunter, you know. So we can't dismiss the masculine. I don't like that either. But
And
yeah,
that reminds me, because feminine energy, I think of beauty.
yes,
Right? Because I
beauty.
feel like
Yeah,
feminine energy looks at the beauty or trying, it's about
that's right.
beauty. And I want to say not superficial beauty. This is going to be more about
No,
than, you know, because I know we've been inundated with that. It's like,
yeah,
you know, women having well, even guys too, like, you know, you have to be a certain shape and you have to
yeah,
dress the part and the full on makeup and everything's so perfect and la di da.
yeah,
And it's like, you know what? I think this is a year of redefining beauty and like the
yeah,
beauty of showing your heart,
yes,
of showing your tears, of being
yeah,
kind, like,
yeah.
you know, all these women
Yeah.
here, like their beauty showing
Oh,
through in their
yes. So
words.
beautiful.
And I want to say someone, a friend of mine shared with me that um, where you find beauty, you will find love. And I think
Yeah.
that's a beautiful, beautiful sentiment and way of being. So,
Oh, I love it.
you know, like if you look at nature, you know, it's just beauty as it is, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
doll up,
Right? It's
but
authentic.
it's
Yeah.
authentic. It's a real beauty. And I feel like that's what, you know, this year is going to be about. Like it's not always going to be easy because there's going to be that pushback, like,
Yeah.
no, you know, people saying like you have to dress or look a certain way to be beautiful. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
the beauty is going to be more than that. So
Right?
mhm,
Barbie's got to go.
that's right. Yeah. No more of
She
this
was born
perfect.
in 1966. It's time to
Was
go.
she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Barbie came out in
Look
1966,
at
the year of
that.
my birth. So time to
Lucky you.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the definition of beauty. It's not time to go for the blondes and the big boobs. And I'm not even saying that, but as the definition of beauty, it's
Yeah.
time to go.
Yeah. 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 And beauty doesn't belong just to the youth,
Exactly.
right?
That, yes. Where's Pei Ming when we
Yeah.
need her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
And I met
right.
this lady, I don't know, a couple months ago. And I don't know her age, but I know she's older than me. And she
Yeah,
calls herself a senior. But I mean, seniors, you know, everyone says senior, different age, right? But she's beautiful to me. Like,
yeah,
I
I love
just,
that.
oh, she's
So much wisdom
gorgeous.
there. Yes, yeah, I love that too.
And
They're
I
so
mean,
beautiful.
yeah. So I just want to
Yeah,
say, like, it's time for us women to embrace our beauty. Like we're
yes,
beautiful. We're just beautiful.
Yes, we are.
right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
And
It's time to
celebrate
embrace it.
that and support that with each other. And it's like,
Yes.
yeah. So anyway,
Yes. Here we go.
here we
I'm
go.
on
Let's
22.
shine. Yeah,
Yes, let's
okay.
shine.
So I hope that helps everyone.
Yeah.
All those messages. And we will, if you missed anything, if you want to watch it again, good for you.
Wow.
That's dedicated. That's beautiful.
That's
It'll
beautiful.
be on the Facebook page, Enlighten Energy, and also I'll have it posted on YouTube, and I will post it up sometime by this evening. And anything else you want to add or share before we sign off?
I feel very complete. I think we
I
did
do.
good.
I think
Yeah.
we did well. Yeah. So thank you again, everyone. I want to go mwah, mwah, mwah to
Yes.
everyone. Lots of
Thank
love.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we plan to be on next week. So we haven't decided the show topic yet, but we will let you know, and appreciate all of your support and your presence. So with that, everyone be well, stay safe, and love and light.
Yes. Love and light.
Okay. Bye, Julie.
Bye, Tina. Thank you.